Welcome to Moose Plays, everyone. I'm the Liquor Moose, and today we will be going over my Week 8 match for the 8th season of the GPC. This week we are up against Gareth, aka PewPew, and he is the coach of the Passimiangers. So Gareth is the commissioner of this league, so I really want to make a good impression on him. Because right now my season is not shaping up to be very impressionable, to say the least. Unfortunately, we are 2-5 playoffs. While I still don't think we are mathematically eliminated, it's the most bleak they've looked ever, obviously. But yeah, so, that's enough about the history, because, I still want to do my best, regardless of whether I can make playoffs or not, so I'm obviously going to do so, but my god, Gareth, your team is just ridiculous. So let's go over that now. He got the ElScizor, the Thunderous Therian, Suicune, Necrozma, Rabombi, Delmise, Rotom Heat, Druddigon, Mudsdale, Metang, and Sock. His Z users being the Thunderous Therian and the Rabombi. First off, Gareth, your team is just one that is after my own heart. This is one that I could absolutely see myself drafting. I'm not gonna lie. For your match against Melon, I helped him prep, and in the middle of building for his team, I just said I am more comfortable building with your team than I am with my own right now. So that's where we are at that. But second of all, his team just has so many threats and so much bulk that I honestly don't know if my breakers can handle. As far offensively goes, the big threat obviously is the Thunderous Therian. That thing hits way too hard, and normally the best stop to it is bulky dragons, but my dragon is not bulky in the slightest. ElScizor, if it sets up a DD, or SD, sorry, it might just be game over, because if you recall my game against Carson in Week 3, the regular Scizor was a huge problem. Granted, my team was a lot different then, but still, that Scizor was a huge problem. The Suicune, way too bulky. Necrozma, way too bulky and is way too easy to set up. Rabombi, real fast and can set up the sticky webs, which I'm really afraid of. I think Sock pretty much has to come. I think it's the best Scarfer on his team just because I do have a Weavile that it can easily take out. Plus, my team doesn't have the best fighting resist. I think it's Landorus and Toxapex. The problem with that being, his team is just, crafted in such a way that, my team, I think this is by far the worst matchup for the season. I thought last week was, but it's definitely this week. So because of that, I really don't have any good way to deal with his offense defensively, so I am honestly just going to straight up run hyper offense. So let's look at my team. First off, what a surprise. 4 attacks, Mega Manectric, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Flamethrower, Hidden Power, Ice. I originally had Toxic over HP Ice just because of the Mudsdale, but then I realized, wait a second, Thunderous Therian gets Volt Absorb, so if I don't have HP Ice, I can't guarantee 2-hit KO it, because Flamethrowers will roll to 2-hit KO, HP Ice is guaranteed, assuming he has no bulk investment, which if he does bring it, I assume to be just max, because then that speed ties with my Landorus. But yeah, so we have this on here, Flamethrower. The only way his ElScizor doesn't get O-code by Flamethrower here is if he is absolutely max special defense. So I figured Flamethrower is definitely better here instead of Overheat to get drops. I'm just going to have to play around the Mudsdale. Flamethrower doesn't really do too much to it. HP Ice still doesn't really do too much to it, but I have other threats that I think can deal with his Mudsdale. Next up, it's obviously outspeed Rabombi, because that's his fastest spawn. Next up, X-Cloud's coming back. So originally I had Blaziken in the slot, and obviously because he has the ElScizor on his team, but it was just so tempting to not bring X-Cloud, and I really could not decide on the proper Blaziken set. My original thought at first, the first thought that popped into my head was mixed offensive with Flare Blitz, and then depending on whether his check is the Suicune or the Mudsdale, I could run Power Herb Solar Beam. but it doesn't quite KO Druddigon, and honestly, if the Suicune is max Spadef, that combination deals 50 min, and that's not really where I want to be. But yeah, so I just honestly, like, and then at that point, like, it couldn't even be, like he could just have Necrozma or Druddigon be the check to the Blaziken. So Blaziken was really awkward, and I thought I wanted it here, but then I realized, wait a minute, Exploud takes advantage of teams like this. Like, it takes advantage of bulky, slow teams. So I figured Exploud was a better bring here. We have enough speed here to outspeed a no-speed Rotom, which I don't think is the play against my team. However, that's only 1 point faster than no-speed Suicune, which does make sense if he decides to bring it. So I figured, you know, might as well just throw in the extra point. But besides that, modest Boom Burst, guaranteed 2 hit KOs everything. He doesn't have a... Actually, the only thing it doesn't guarantee 2 hit KO is Spadef Suicune, because that boy's just bad. But, yeah, Exploud can put dents in this team. Obviously it can't 2 hit KO the ElScizor, but I mean, I have Flamethrower, which does guarantee OHKO it. Ice Beam is here because he actually has quite a few Ice Weak mons if I can get the chance to. There's just a few things that, like, if I can catch them on a switch or something like that, it works. And then Sleep Talk is here because, again, I could not think of a better coverage move because Surf, like, Boom Burst is more than Surf or Ice Beam to Mudsdale. So I just figured I would just run Ice Beam. Especially since considering Ice Beam has just overall better coverage against Gareth's team than Surf does. So yeah, Sleep Talk was there just because I didn't really need an extra move, but yeah, that's Exploud. Next up, the obvious bring in my hyper offensive stuff. We have, Life Orb Landorus with Rock Polish. Once again, if I can get Rock Polish up, this thing, like, this is actually one of Landorus's harder matches because Spadef Necrozma eats, Spadef Suicune eats, those are the main ones, and even if he's AV Mudsdale, that eats. Like, Suicune, I think, is a guaranteed come, because, like, as far as the special attackers go on my team, it eats. Plus, I have a Weavile, so I honestly think that's, like, a must-bring on his part. But yeah, other than that, we have Earth Power, Rock Slide, Grass Knot, because that's the best coverage for his team. Earth Power for everything neutral, Rock Slide for pretty much everything Earth Power, like, can't hit at all or is resisted by. And then Grass Knot specifically here for both the Suicune and the Mudsdale. We're speed tying the Thunderous Therian, obviously. This is a speed tie I'm willing to risk because Thunderous Therian is just that big of a threat, and Rock Slide really dents it. And then, yeah, the best coverage plus Rock Polish. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward set, but I mean, you're going to get some straightforward sets when you run Hyper Offense. Next up, speaking of straightforward sets, it's like literally the same Haxorus set I've run for the past few weeks. I would like to switch it around, but this set is just too damn reliable. And then if I run a choice item, then I'm missing out. Like, Scarf Haxorus wasn't a thing only because if he does bring Scarf Thunderous, then it still loses. Then that outspeeds this. Plus, like, if Haxorus is choice locked into stuff that grants, if it's locked into a Dragon move that grants for Bombi and absolutely free switch in, and my team doesn't switch into Fairy ridiculously well, and plus that gives him a free Sticky Web if he chooses to go that route. So yeah, we're just gonna go with the Haxorus because that's just the best way to go about it. Like, this Haxorus is just straight up extremely reliable. And then the speed is here for the Rotom, right? Max speed Rotom. Next up, again, Weavile. It's a straightforward set because it's just that good in the match. Or, like, just in general, especially on hyper-offensive teams. We have Knockoff, Ice Crash, obviously. Ice Shard is here for his Scarfers, or if he does bring the Sticky Webs, I can, if it's whittled down, I can revenge it with Ice Shard. And then again, I really don't need another coverage move on this, so if he does bring Defensive Rotom, and he Will-O-Wisps this, or if I get a Scald Burn from the Suicune or something, then at least I have Facade to have, like, if I'm burned, I can still have a good damage output. And then the speed, obviously, for the Bombi again, because that's his fastest Pokemon. And then the 8 in defense, because the odd number that this has is already perfect for rocks. And then finally, our only, like, quote-unquote defensive Pokemon is the Uxie. I was like really unsure about the set. With the amount of setup I have with both Landorus and Haxorus on this team, I thought I wanted Memento, but I couldn't fit it on this team. I couldn't fit it on this set because the rest of the stuff is too important. I originally had a Eject button because my original thought was to lead with it and then throw up Stealth Rocks, and then he would hit me, and then I would pressure it out and then whatever I get switched into, I can pressure out offensively. Because at the same time, I found out that if I do run a Eject button and and my opponent hits me with a U-turn, then the U-turn actually doesn't trigger. So I would get switched out into whatever I want, and then his ElScizor doesn't actually get to switch out from the U-turn, which is cool, but U-turn does way too much to this set anyways. The speed, I believe, is also here for the Rotom, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, what is it here for? Come on. I actually don't remember what the speed was here for. I feel like it was for the Rotom. I don't understand. Oh, no. No, it wasn't for the Rotom. Yeah, okay, so this was for... Okay. That's actually my mistake, because this should have been for the Rotom. But what I remember, this was here for max speed ElScizor, I believe. But yeah. So yeah, I have... Or maybe the Necrozma. I don't remember. It wasn't the Rotom, but it was something else. But yeah, so we have, other than the rocks, we have U-turn, obviously, for momentum shenanigans, HP Fire if he does decide to try to get cheeky and switch in ElScizor onto this. And then we have Toxic because I can't allow Suicune and Necrozma to like start setting up for absolutely free. Same thing with Mudsdale. I think Toxicing the Mudsdale is going to be a huge issue because if that thing gets a few staminas up, it won't be able to take hits from Haxorus forever, but it's going to be it's going to tank hits from Haxorus relatively easily. So yeah, that's the team I brought. It's a little bit different than I would like to. I would still like to run like some bulk. This like Uxi's really the only like bulky mon here, but I think it works for this hyper offensive set. But yeah, so that's the team. I guess let me know in the comments what you think about it. And yeah, keep your eye out. Oh, I'm sorry, Gareth, and I guess everyone else that I forget to plug. But yeah, go check out Gareth. His link will be in the description below, as well as a link to all of the coaches in the GPC this season to catch up on all of the Draft League content that's going to be happening for this season. So yeah, keep your eye out on the channel for the match that will go live tomorrow. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.